We got Stephen M. Smith on the line from Touchdown Alabama to break down the Tide. We're running through the offense, and we move it on to what has been the best group of wide receivers in the country for several years now, and of course 4 first-round selections in the last 2 NFL drafts, and maybe, I don't think this is hyperbole, maybe the greatest player in the history of whether it's at that position, a wide receiver, the Alabama program, or the history of college football. He could be in the discussion, going from national championship game-winning catch in 2017 to the development all the way to one of the most prolific seasons in college football, of course, with DeVonta Smith. And we're running through this offense that boasted 3 Heisman finalists out of 5. So John Metchie, of course, is the guy that everybody points to, 55 catches. He has the most experience. Slade Bolden with some key receptions down the stretch as well. And Jameson Williams comes in from Ohio State. So they're not lacking in talent, but the experience is lacking a bit.
This group right here, to me, Mark, is solid. It's solid, not special. Because and solid is good. You can win with solid. You can be successful with solid. When you talk about the guys that Alabama launched the NFL, you're looking at 4 trump cards at wide receiver. You're looking at 4 number ones. When you talk what Jerry Jeudy did, what Henry Ruggs did, what DeVonta Smith did, what Jalen Waddle did. Now, John Metchie, you mentioned he's got experience. Slade Bolden is trying to go from being kind of a gadget player to being a contributor, a marquee wide receiver. I really like Jameson Williams from Ohio State. He has come in here and he has torn up in 7-on-7. The players really like him. The coaching staff really likes him. He's got speed. He's got athleticism. He's got burst. He's got routes. He's got hands. And he's coming to. I've been told, barring injury or anything crazy happening, this young man should start because he is bringing it right now. In 7-on-7 at 6'2" and 189 pounds. Williams, played 22 career games at Ohio State, 15 catches, 266 yards, 3 touchdowns. Of course, last year, 9 catches, $154, and 2 scores, including the 45-yard touchdown catch he got from Justin Fields against Clemson. Ohio State getting the 49-28 win over the Tigers in the CFP semifinal down there at the Sugar Bowl. So Williams has a lot of talent. He's got a lot of ability. I think he starts there along with Bolden and along with Metchie. But some other guys here, you've got Xavier Williams, who's been in this program for a long time. Came in 2018, young man from Florida, South Florida. I mean, he's got ability at 6'1", 6'2", but can Ziggy Williams finally get a way to get himself on the field consistently? We saw last year coming down the stretch, the young man, he got some playing time. In the spring game, didn't really pop the way I really wanted him to or would have liked for him to. So can Ziggy Williams, Xavier Williams, find himself on the field in some kind of way, shape, form, or fashion? That's a big question. Then you got the guys that came in the 2020 class with Javon Baker and Trayshawn Holden and Thaiu Jones-Bell. Trayshawn Holden had a really good spring game. He and Bryce Young are roommates. Holding 9 catches for 89 yards. He's had a good summer thus far. Can he find a way to get on the field at 6'3"? Javon Baker's been talking a bunch since he got here. The young man at 6'1", a little bit over 200 pounds now. But can he go from talking the game to getting on the field and producing? That's the next step for him. Thaiu Jones-Bell from South Florida. I remember watching him in an Under Armour All-America practice. That kid's got talent out the world. But can he get on the field? And then you got these freshmen in here, Mark, when you talk Aisha Hall, who had an incredible spring game, 4 catches for 72 yards, and had fans seeing visions of Julio Jones out there. So you got Aisha Hall, who's trying to get on the field. You got Christian Leary, another South Florida product. You got JoJo Earl, who flipped from LSU to Alabama in the early signing period. He's here this summer. He's making some noise in 7-on-7. So like you mentioned, the talent there. But talent's there. It's who's ready to pop now when you look at trying to help Mechie, trying to help Bolden, trying to help Jameson Williams? Who's ready to pop now out of this next wave of group, this next group here at wide receiver? Going to be very interesting.
Major Tennyson's been in the program for a long time. He's coming up on his senior season. And, of course, Jaleel Billingsley was the guy that we saw at tight end backing up and getting some playing time last season. So set us up at tight end.
Well, tight end right here, Jaleel Billingsley is expected to have a monster season. We know what Bill O'Brien does, the tight end position. We saw it at Penn State. We saw it with the New England Patriots with them having Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez. We saw it with the Houston Texans. So we know when Bill O'Brien gets his hands on tight ends, those guys produce. When you look at Jaleel, he's entering his junior year. This is the money NFL year for him, and he knows this, trying to become stronger even as a blocker at that spot, as a pass catch. This young man is an electric guy. Last season, 18 catches, 287 yards, had 3 touchdowns a season ago. But along with him, you've got Cameron Latu, and this has become a star in the making right here. This young man came in as a linebacker in the 2018 class. He has morphed into a tight end. He has morphed into a physical specimen at 6'5", 250 pounds. He had an incredible spring. He had a really good spring game. And this is the guy everybody's buzzed about, they're talking about, that can be a star, that can be a potential NFL big-time player at that tight end position. What I look for Alabama to do here, Mark, is they're going to try to split Jaleel Billingsley out wide, make him a tight end wide receiver hybrid, kind of like what Florida did with Kyle Pitts. And then they'll have Cameron Latu working that in line as a blocker, but he'll also get out there, catch some passes. He'll be deadly in the red area as well. Now, Major Tennyson, who's been here for a while, I can see him in kind of that H-back role where he will block for the running backs. He'll also slip out there, and he'll catch a pass or two also. So I think Major Tennyson as the H-back, they'll split Jaleel Billingsley out wide there, and they'll have Cameron Latu as that inner line tight end.